In the film, I liked what Aurelia, I think it was, said. She said, "Our ancestors have instilled in us that we must give great respect to the water, to the river." She said, "When arriving to collect water, when arriving to bathe, every person must say their name and greet the water. This is how we respect the water." I'm not sure we should do that every time we turn on the tap or step into the shower. But perhaps it might be good to take the effort every time we do turn on the tap or load the washing machine, to thank God for the water that we so often take for granted. Perhaps these days, if Jesus was teaching us to pray, he might have said, "And give us this day our daily bread and water." How important water is. But a little bit more about Aurelia. Aurelia has 8 grown-up children and lives with one of her sons and his wife. Aurelia's many grandchildren visit her home every day. Her family belongs to the indigenous Quechua community of the Alta Verapaz region in Guatemala. It's a close and supportive rural community who live by a blend of Mayan and Catholic traditions, holding the natural worlds as precious and sacred. These are some of Aurelia's grandchildren. From left to right, we've got Sheni, who's 9, Carla, who's 7, Dilia, 3, and Daly, 9. In the middle picture is Aurelia and her grandson collecting water, and then also Aurelia praying in her church. The climate crisis and industrial plantations have changed Quechua land dramatically. Heat waves, storms, and unpredictable seasons are ravaging farms. Industrial agriculture is taking over the last of the region's natural resources to feed the world's richest countries. Many of the vital crops that Aurelia depends on are withering and dying before her eyes. It's a heartbreaking injustice that a community should be threatened by a climate crisis they didn't cause. This is a photo of Aurelia and a woman called Sophia receiving what is called agroecology training. The quote is Aurelia's: "Climate change has been killing our crops, and this is our food." Like the other women and girls in her community, Aurelia must go twice a day to collect water from a cenote, a natural sinkhole like a cave with water at the bottom. Her walk takes around an hour each way. Part of it follows a steep, dark and slippery route that journeys in and out of the cenote. In Aurelia's lifetime, water sources could be found much closer to home, but both heat waves and industrial plantations have drained them dry. Collecting water takes longer, which means the community has less time for other activities, such as selling produce, which allows them to then buy other things their families need. This pushes families further into the trap of poverty. Fortunately, Aurelia heard about an organization that works in her area of Guatemala called Concoop. They are partners of Christian Aid and train people like Aurelia in ways of farming that work with nature. By working with Concoop, Aurelia has learnt skills and knowledge to grow native seeds that are better suited to the changing climate. She is producing her own organic fertilizer, creating nurseries, constructing rainwater collection systems, and making nutritious food and medicine for her chickens. Concoop also provided Aurelia with seeds and tools. The left photo is of Aurelia with organic liquid fertilizer after receiving training from Christian Aid's partner, Concoop. In the middle is Aurelia with her dried plantains ready to grind them with cacao to make bread to consume and sell. Concoop lends the dehydrators seen here to communities to help with their income generation projects. Concoop provided her with training on the benefits of organic fertilizer. The right photo shows Aurelia with her fertilizer, and she's now able to encourage other women to follow suit. Aurelia can now grow cacao, sugarcane, cinnamon, corn, and pineapples. She is restoring her ability to provide food for her family. Because she's now hopeful for the future, Aurelia has developed and leads other activities in her community, including producing chocolate, establishing a farmers market, and fighting for women's rights. With the support from Concoop, Aurelia has learnt how to make chocolate and to sell it at a good price. With her profits, Aurelia can buy household essentials like soap and salt and support her young grandchildren to stay in school. She is now a celebrated leader who holds the hopes of her community in her hands. Whatever she learns with Concoop, she shares. As Aurelia trains other women in climate-resilient farming, they too can adapt their practices and protect their families. She also supports Concoop to address the pressure that Indigenous farmers feel to sell their land to developers. Concoop discourages land sales and supports communities to make their land work for them, so they don't feel that selling is their only option. Aurelia is supported by Concoop, which itself is supported by Christian Aid, which in turn is supported by churches like this one. Together we can bring hope. Aurelia has hope for the future because of her own determination alongside the new skills and knowledge she has gained. She is being a source of hope for her community, and she is changing lives for the better. We're going to have a song again. Brother, sister, let me serve you.